Welcome to Sports, Wheels, and Reels with Jeff Miller and Austin Horton. One show, two guys, three topics, unlimited possibilities. Presented by Mark Miller Subaru. Engage with us on social media or email us at podcast@mmsubaru.com. And now, welcome your hosts, Jeff Miller and Austin Horton.
Episode 44, double fours. He's
yeah.
Jeff, I'm Austin. Yeah, pour one out for Bogey.
For the Bogey.
It's the Bogey episode.
I miss Bogey. I really liked him. Doesn't fit into our plans. I get that, but I always like Bogey.
This is the Obama episode. Let's go with that.
Yeah, we'll go Obama episode.
Barry Obama.
That'll get us good comments.
Well, I don't care. At least he's never been indicted.
Oh, man.
All right.
Dude,
from the top rope.
Top rope. Early on this
Lock
one.
him
All right.
up. He's Jeff. I'm Austin. We do not have political beliefs at all. Ashley behind the microphones or the wires lead to Ashley. She was in front of the camera last week.
I know. That's what I hear.
And we have a lot to talk about. Sports, wheels, and reels. Coming up in sports, the Jazz, the brackets.
Six games left?
6 games left. How many home? 4? 3? I don't know. Will they or won't they?
I think it's 3-3.
What is our prediction of the last 6 games for the Utah Jazz? And will there be more this season?
No.
Okay. That coming up after the break. Stay tuned.
My name is Bobby Staples. I love dirt roads, saving our public lands, and my Subaru is off-road ready. Subaru is a brand I trust, and Mark Miller Subaru is the local Utah retailer that I love.
All right, if you stayed tuned, we left you with a cliffhanger before our little timeout there, and Jeff thinks the Jazz are winning a championship this year.
We got a lot more playoff games. Better keep that arena empty through June.
So they have 6 games. Is it 6 games left?
There are 6 games left, 36 and 40 right now.
All
they
right.
are currently 1.5 games out of the 10 seed.
And like 3 out of the 6 seed, isn't it? Or 7?
2.5 out of the 7 seed.
Yeah. So it could still possibly fall that they get into the play-in.
They would have to go 4-2, maybe 5-1, most likely.
What do you
to get to that 10 seed?
What do you think their motivation is right now?
To
get to Cancun or to get in the play-in?
So it's a very interesting thing that the Jazz have going, because what they've got is you don't have a bunch of guys that have their future secure, and they're like, short of Walker and Agbaji and some of these guys, most of these guys are playing for their spot next year. So you got a bunch of guys,
especially Larry Markkinen.
Yeah. Well, Markkinen might not play; he'll be in and out, but he's still going to play hard because he's Markkinen. But like Taylor Horton Tucker and Fontecchio and these guys, they're playing for their lives, right? I mean, they've got contracts and stuff, but like Horton Tucker is a team option next year or a player option next year.
Even a guy like a Doka Azubuike.
Totally, these guys are all playing for their lives. So you talk about a lot of these other teams are kind of locked into spots. They might not be playing full tilt. Like look at Milwaukee last night. Milwaukee lost by 40 last night.
Yeah,
number 1 team in the NBA lost by 40 points last night.
That wasn't a real game
with their full starting lineup.
I know, but not really.
Totally. So you play some of these games. You get the Celtics on a back-to-back tonight, and they're not expecting anything out of the Jazz. The Jazz could sneak one. You never know. I mean, that's the thing is like I don't think they're going to go 4-2 or 5-1 to finish things. I mean, you got Boston, Brooklyn, Lakers, Thunder, Nuggets, Lakers. Right? 3 at home, 3 on the road.
The Thunder and the Lakers are interesting because they are trying to do stuff. But the Nuggets.
Here's the interesting thing, too. If the Jazz beat the Lakers and the Thunder in those 3 games, there are also teams that are right ahead of them.
That's true.
So it also pushes them back, which makes it easier.
Yeah.
Right? So I think they have to win 4 games.
Okay.
Which would get them to 40 and 42 on the season. I think that gets them the 10 seed.
Okay.
As long as they beat the Thunder as one of them and win the tiebreaker.
Okay.
But, I mean, the thing is, Locke put it out a really interesting thing. At this point, if you look at the bottom side of the standings, they're not getting lower than 8. They're not getting lower than the 8th worst record. At this point, every one of those other teams under them's tanking. Right? Indiana's lost 4 in a row. Portland's lost like 27 in a row, I think. Or they're like 1-15 in the last game. And Lillard's not playing anymore.
Why would he? Yeah.
Orlando's been playing, but they're
San Antonio.
I mean, they're a full 2 games ahead of Washington, who's got the 8th worst record. Right now, they're tied for the 9th. So odds are they're finishing 8, 9, 10, which who cares? Like, you don't fight for that. So I think they try and fight to win. And I
Okay.
think you got players that are going to try. This team's not going to sit down, and Hardy's not going to let them. But I think the last 6 games are going to be fun because I think they're not going to give up.
Do you think that they sitting here today, with the position they're in the standings, is okay with the Danny Ainge and Justin Zanuck?
Yes.
You think so?
Yes.
8th worst in the league, close to being a playoff team.
But I think they got what they wanted this season. They figured out who their core is. Right? Who's their core? Markkanen, Kessler, Agbaji, maybe Clarkson if you can get him to re-sign. But I don't know if he's really in there, and Sexton.
Oh, I've got thoughts and feelings on Sexton, but yeah.
Right? But that's their 5. And then now you're looking on top of that, maybe Fontecchio's a bench guy, maybe Horton Tucker. I mean, Horton Tucker's I think he's shown a lot the second half of the season.
Keep him.
I don't think he's a starting NBA point guard, but I think he's an excellent backup point guard. I think that's your change of pace point guard you bring in
He's
off
a
the
tank.
bench. He's a
awesome.
tank, and he doesn't get hurt. Knock on wood.
Yeah, what have you done?
Right. But I mean, you look at the rest of this team. I mean, Toscana, he's probably not on the team next year.
Forgot
The new
about
guy
him.
is Samanek that who actually played pretty well in the game against San Antonio. But Jones probably isn't playing. Doak's gone. Potter's gone. Chris Dunn, they re-signed. And that's been a nice
That's
surprise
good.
that they've got.
Yeah,
Right. They'll definitely keep
off
him.
of the scrap heap too.
Ju Zhang, he's probably a deep bench guy.
Yeah,
Would you give him another couple of years to develop? He's been shooting the ball well, though.
yeah.
I mean, they've got good. I mean, they've built a solid thing. And what do they have? $40 million in cap room this summer?
Yeah, about that actually.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So part of it's going to go to a marketing extension, hopefully.
Should.
They should. I mean, he's making $20 million a year. He should be making 30. Right? Clarkson's probably going to get a $5 million raise if he stays.
If he stays, yeah. Which he may not.
Right? And then the rest of the team's pretty much set. You're going to have your draft picks. You have 3 first-round draft picks coming in if they
And-
don't trade.
Which, yeah, I think they might trade.
And
a couple
depending
of
on
those,
what they get in
actually.
the draft, maybe they can pick up a free agent that's decent.
Yeah, I don't know about this year. I
Or,
don't.
or they hold off and wait
Yeah,
until they are
mhm.
more established in the next
Yeah.
couple of years. But I like the position that Danny Ainge has put him in. I mean, if he's not in the top 3, 4 and voting for executive of the year, I don't know who's voting for it.
I don't think he's eligible, is he?
Well, Zanuck.
Yeah.
But the Jazz, that's really a front office award,
the
right?
puppet regime.
Yeah, it's a front office award, right?
It is. Yeah.
But I mean, I like what happened with the Jazz season. They were fun. I think they figured out they got their coach.
That's the best part of this
Right.
season is they have the guy
They
that,
know they got their coach.
which was the biggest worry. Remember, we were sitting here and I said, I have no idea. Could be great, could be terrible.
No idea. But I think this season everybody thinks there's nobody who's out there saying Will Hardy's not the guy.
He should be coach of the year. Honest.
No, Mike Brown's coach.
No, forget Mike Brown.
Sacramento was
Forget it.
they were supposed to win
it.
as many games as us. They were supposed to
Forget
win like
it.
27, 28 games.
Look at the talent that he came into the season with.
Mike Brown's coach of the year.
Jazz will not win coach of the year ever. But anyway.
I think if the Jazz would have gotten themselves in, I think if they wouldn't have traded away all their players at the midseason, we probably would be a 5 or 6 seed right now.
Yeah. But I think that
And if you were a 5 or 6 seed with that
Then he'd win
roster,
coach
I
of the
think
year.
he'd be a front runner for coach of the year.
I think going back to my question, I'll answer it as
Okay,
well.
think about those players. The players they traded away, were they worth 3.5 games in the last 25 games?
What do you mean worth 3.5 to
So if
li-
they hadn't have traded away Conley, Beasley, Vanderbilt, Alexander Walker, would we have won 3.5 more games?
Probably.
So we were a 5 seed, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a crazy way to look at it. It was the right move to trade him because it allowed us
But
to
it was only 4 games.
to
3.5.
learn about Horton Tucker, learn about Chris Dunn, learn what we had in Kessler. Like
Yeah.
they learned a lot by trading those guys
God,
off.
Kessler's so good.
Kessler, I think Kessler could be all pro someday.
I think in the next 2 years.
I think he could be 3rd team all pro center in this league.
I do think Ainge and Zanuck and company thought they'd be in the top 4 of lottery right now,
But here's the crazy
but they
thing. is,
played
like,
better than that.
Look at like San Antonio, Detroit, Houston, right? And this is Locke was talking about this on his podcast this morning or yesterday or something like that. They tanked. They had a miserable season. Their fans, everyone, they lost 75, 80% of their games.
Yeah.
And 1 or 2 of those teams is going to be out of the top 4.
Yes.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
Like to waste a whole year of a franchise for a crapshoot.
Yeah, but that's how you got to do it. If you're a small market team, which the Utah Jazz and San Antonio Spurs are, that is what you have to do. That's the way the NBA has set it up. There is not a small market team that won a championship without having a tank season to get a pick. Yes, sir.
Calling me Milwaukee.
Milwaukee's not a small market team.
Milwaukee's a smaller market team.
Okay. They're not New York, LA, Chicago, Miami.
So San Antonio, it's the Duncan tank,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, clearly.
So what other small market teams won an NBA
That's it.
championship? Is there any other small market teams even won a championship?
Not that I can think of. Detroit is not a small market team.
It's not a small market team.
Certainly Houston? Question
That's
mark?
not a small.
And that was
it's
a
an
weird-
arguable small market, but they didn't tank to get it.
No.
Milwaukee definitely didn't.
No. Well,
Toronto.
yeah.
Toronto did not tank to get their
But-
championship. They made a great trade for Kawhi, but they did not tank.
Well, they mortgaged the whole future. And it worked out though. They still turned
But
out
there
to
was
be
no tank.
and they're not a small market.
In the NBA terms, they are.
I guess so. I guess so.
in NBA
Because they're
division, they're not New York,
they're
LA,
across the border.
Miami,
Yeah.
Golden State.
But seriously, the Spurs, who patterned everything they did after the Utah Jazz, won championships by losing enough games to get one guy,
But you're also
one draft pick,
totally. That was 25 years ago.
but they won what 5 titles with that guy?
They did.
4? How many was it? Anything?
But you're not. It doesn't have to happen that way,
It has only happened that way for small market teams.
except for Milwaukee recently.
But they're not a small market team.
They are absolutely a small market team.
They got Giannis in the first round, right?
Yeah.
And that was the whole thing for them. But anywho, I think the Jazz will be just fine. I was on Team Tank. I still wouldn't mind seeing them go 0-6.
The population of the city of Milwaukee is 500,000 people.
But what's the TV size? What's the draw?
Well, you're gonna call the Chicago market the Milwaukee market, but it's not.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Milwaukee's a small market team. And they got lucky because they drafted the
Okay,
league MVP.
I'll go this far with you. They did not on purpose tank for one pick, but they were terrible for decades.
They were bad.
They
but
were very
never,
bad.
They never tanked.
And then they got Giannis
But
and
they
won
got
the
him in the
title.
second round. They didn't get him in the first
I
round
thought
pick.
it was a first round pick.
He was a late.
Late,
pick.
I think it was in the 20s.
Yeah.
But
Like he was not a lottery pick,
no, that's true.
right?
But they were very bad for many, many years. Yeah.
I'll give you on Cleveland and tanking, but they tanked for LeBron.
They had to. I mean,
They had to. I mean, it was his hometown guy. They didn't have a choice.
Yeah. And if you're a conspiracy guy, that was on purpose by the NBA.
Oh, for sure.
All right. That's the Jazz. 6 games left.
6 games left. What's your prediction?
2-4.
2-4. I
Yeah.
think that's most likely.
That's the safe one, right?
Yeah, 2-4. I think 2-4 puts them in the 10th seed, 10th worst record, and
And
it gives
then-
them a 8%, 7% chance at a top 4 pick or something.
And a
like that.
play-in game, which is fun.
No, they won't. No, it would be the 10th worst record.
Oh, I thought you meant 10th
No.
seed.
4-2. I'm going to stick to the idea that 4-2 at a minimum to get the 10th seed.
Okay.
5-1 guarantees it.
Yeah, maybe.
I think 5-1. If they can get to 41-41, it guarantees them the 10th seed.
40
get
and
to
42.
40, it's 50-50.
Yeah.
If they get to 39, it would take a lot of help.
This might be the most fun I have all season, is watching these last 6
here's
games.
the interesting thing is the play-in system for like I'm gonna go back to Locke again. It is one of the best rule changes the NBA has made. It literally has killed tanking for all but 4 or 5 teams. And really
it's for a game.
that middle part of it has only been tanking for like that little 6 to 8 range. It's only been tanking for the last 2 week or 2.
True.
Right? Portland and those teams in Indiana, they were giving it their all, and then like, all right, we're out.
Yeah.
Right? Or like, we're just gonna rest. We don't want to hurt Lillard.
Well, and it's fun. It is fun, even though you're seeing teams more often than not with losing records in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's still fun to
It's
see a
fun.
10 versus a 7 and a 9 versus
No,
8.
I think it's cool. I like the one
Yeah.
and done stuff. It's like they do that in baseball too, right? It's like that one and done game.
Sucks if you're the 7 and 8 seed and lose and you're gone, but
Yeah, but the idea of it is the difference between a 7 seed and a 10 seed in the West is a game. It's not like
and I've got it mixed up, isn't it? 10-9.
what I think that
to play against
what
eight,
they
I can't
should have
remember.
done in the rule, because it's not affecting this season, but it could in future seasons. I think if the 9 or 10 seed is more than 4 or 5 games away from the 8 seed, then there shouldn't be a playing game. Like there should be some sort of caveat. It's hard to do because of scheduling and things like that.
Yeah.
But there should be something there that's like, if they've really earned the 8 or 7 seed, then they should get to keep it.
Okay, so how about this? If you really earn the 8th seed, that playing game, you get to play with 6 players on the floor.
Yeah, I have a hard time Chicago getting in, being down. Like Chicago right now is tied for us with the worst record, or the 9th worst record, and they're the 10th seed in the East right now. And they're 2 games back at Toronto, who's the 9. Right? So if they lose 3 or 4 more games, and all of a sudden they're 4 games back and they still get to play in the playing game, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And they still get a lotto pick.
Oh, that's
Unless they
see, that's the dream.
Unless, like, if you're the 10 seed and then if you're the 10 seed and you make the playoffs, you still get the 10 seed lotto pick?
Yeah.
So 7 and 8 don't get in the lotto?
Yeah, so they make the playoffs and lose, and they're not in the lottery.
Oh, man,
it's tough on the 7 and 8.
That's the bad.
Yeah.
That's the bad. You don't want that.
Yeah.
All right, NCAA tournament.
Jeff beat me in the brackets.
Yes. By 10 points.
It's something.
By 1 first round game.
This was a bracket that you're going to frame in your house and say that was the year.
It was the Mark Miller Subaru bracket had nobody pick a Final Four team. It was really
That's
sad.
true.
Though. The final game of the Elite 8,
yeah,
I was playing to win it.
Yeah.
If Texas beat
won.
Miami, I won the bracket.
Yeah.
Because I had Texas in the Final Four.
And I hate to inform you of this, but not a soul on the staff wanted Texas to win that game.
Oh, of course not.
Because if the general manager of the store wins the bracket, it's kind of like
yeah. I don't know why they wouldn't want that. Every time I've ever won one of those brackets, I just buy everybody lunch anyway.
That's what they did.
I don't think I've ever taken money off one of those brackets.
They said that's the best way to get our
in my 2
Skittles
in my 2
to
fantasy football championships in the last 8 years, I think.
But you know what? This was a fun March Madness. I love seeing no number 1 seeds in the Final
It was
Four.
fun. Do you think
the Elite 8?
How much do you think transfer portal has affected that?
Very much. Very
the fact
much.
that you're not locked in, you don't have your players, there's no like it's just more of a crapshoot.
And NIL.
Yeah. NIL, yeah. There's just so much more of a crapshoot on keeping a team together.
Yes.
That you're not these number 1 seeds, these smaller teams that maybe can keep teams together better.
Well, you know who's going to suffer. It'll take 10, maybe 20 years. I think Duke might find themselves fall way down.
Like North Carolina, not making the tournament.
Yeah, without Krzyzewski's legends and without Duke is a little tiny private school.
Well, yeah, they don't have the money.
They
for
should
NIL.
not. Yeah, exactly.
Totally.
But maybe now they have the alumni base that it stays.
But it was a fun tournament. I really enjoyed it.
So congrats to Corey, our accessories director, and Brian, our rental manager.
They were the winners.
I am disappointed in them because we gave them the choice to either split the cake.
Or create a whole new thing.
I wanted to do like a predict the Final Four.
Oh, they should have done that.
Yeah, they decided to be everyone wins a trophy Montessori.
If I was Brian, I would have stuck with his tiebreaker thing. I would have stuck with the rules. Hey, the rules say tiebreaker score because he had a much better tiebreaker call than Corey did.
Corey's like 110 to 98.
I'm thinking it's an NBA game or something.
And then finally in sports, a nod to my guys. Steve Klauke announced this will be his final run. And the Bees was supposed to start yesterday and today.
Some snow in the field.
That ain't going to happen. But this is going to be Klauke's final season.
My Little League practices got delayed as well. It's very sad.
That's right. Baseball should not start until May. It shouldn't start till May, and it should end in September.
Well,
across the board.
Okay.
When I'm emperor.
Okay.
That and blow torches for every home in Northeast Layton, so we don't have to shovel or snow blow anymore.
Heated driveways.
Oh yeah, government subsidized heated driveways.
There you go.
And then Hans Olsen was named BYU football radio analyst, which I think is really
Very cool. Good for him.
Mark Lyons did that gig for like 38 years.
That's crazy, right?
And then Riley Nelson did it for the last 4 and announced in January that something had to give with 4 kids at home and a wife and a career.
Yeah.
And so now Hans takes over, which
Hans will do a great job.
Yeah. All right.
That Utah homer.
That Utah homer in Cougar clothing. Yes.
All right. That's it for sports. Should be interesting. So you're predicting 2-4.
2-4. You know what? I'll make it a little spicier. 1-5.
I think it's 2
Because 2 and 4 is kind of boring.
I think it's 2 and 4 too. But
Yeah.
I will be honest, when we come back in the next couple of weeks, I would not be surprised if they went 4 and 2.
It'd be fun. It really would be.
It's just this team has done crazy, goofy stuff all season.
And you don't know what the teams they're playing
I
are
wouldn't
thinking.
be surprised if all of a sudden they like come out of Boston and Brooklyn with 2 wins.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden, like they're in the 10 seed and it's like 4 games left. This
Well,
is crazy.
Well, and I wouldn't, and conversely, I wouldn't be surprised if those are the 2 wins of the next 6 games.
Yeah.
like,
And then they lose the
wild
ones that they're
stuff.
supposed to, right?
Yes, exactly. All right, coming up next, Jeff reports back from Subaru headquarters, and we tell you about diversity and Love the Earth months right here on Sports Wheels and Reels. Be right back.
My name is Donna Maturo McAleer, and helping people is what gives me joy. And my Subaru is serving our community. Subaru is the brand that I trust, and Mark Miller Subaru is the local Utah retailer that I love.
All right, time for Wheels. Jeff Miller is back from, what is it, Cherry
No, it's
Hill?
in Camden, New Jersey.
Camden,
right
New
next to the
Jersey.
Campbell's Soup Factory.
Have you ever been to the Campbell Soup?
No, I really
Factory?
should go do a tour.
Wonder if they give like samples and stuff.
Ooh, that'd be fun. Like
Yeah.
a soup tour. I love a good soup.
Oh, they
On a
make
nice hot, like a nice cold day.
Yeah,
Go on a
like
tour.
today?
Yeah, it'd be
Oh,
a nice
this is
day
a
to go on
soup
the
day.
Campbell's Soup tour.
It would be.
Check that out next time in town.
What can you tell us, and what can't you tell us as you report back from headquarters?
So it's very sad news, and we'll announce it here. Tom Dahl, the president CEO of Subaru, has announced his retirement.
That is
So
sad.
he's 12 years CEO.
It's good for
14
him.
years CEO. He's been with Subaru 30 plus years. And really the guy that put Subaru on the map. I mean, Subaru would not be where it is without Tom Dahl's leadership and what he's done for this company over the last decades.
And by all accounts that I've ever heard, a really good guy.
Yeah, I mean, the Love Promise stuff and all the charity stuff Subaru does, it's straight out of him.
Mm.
So, I mean, he's left Subaru in a great place. The guy who's following him is Jeff Walters, who's been the VP of sales for the last little while. And they're bringing in someone from Japan to be the CEO, a guy named Toddy-san. And Toddy's a good guy as well. So the Subaru's in good hands. We've got good leadership all the way down. So it's sad to lose Tom, but we're going to do a going away for him in July at the national meeting of all the retailers. So
And he's got grandkids and stuff. He's gonna have a good
yeah,
end.
he's
to
excited to
whatever
go
he
travel
wants
with his wife. And
Mhm.
yeah,
Well deserved. but
very
we will
well
miss him,
deserved. He
yeah.
definitely will be missed. But other than that, Subaru, it's starting to turn the corner. We're starting to hear that inventory's starting to open up a little bit. They're starting to get cars on the ground a lot of places. I mean, we're hoping to have a pretty good size allocation for our May allocation. So, I mean, I think we're turning the corner. Knock on wood.
Yeah, we need to find some.
Because, I mean, we just don't need any more
we
setbacks.
need to put a wood plaque.
As long as we don't
here.
get setbacks, I think by the second half of the year, we'll have cars on the lot again, where people actually be able to come in and buy a car on the lot and leave with one.
And you mean that's what you're saying is
Don't-
multiple cars?
Yeah,
because we
multiple
are
cars.
going to have
Yeah,
cars
but
this
like
month.
multiple cars, you can come and say, I want to pick a color of an Outback.
That would be amazing.
Right? That kind of thing. And so we're really looking forward to that. I did get to see some future product stuff. I can't get too far into it, but I saw the new Forester.
The new Subaru motorcycle,
No Subaru motorcycle.
Subaru truck,
No.
Subaru helicopter.
No. New generation.
Oh, gotcha.
So I saw the new Forester. It's
Oh, you
coming out.
did see it.
I actually
Oh, I
got to
thought-
sit in it and see it like actual car. That'll come out next summer. And then I actually saw a
Next
picture-
summer, like this coming summer,
like next summer, like
2024.
2024, 2025 model year.
Because that's the ground up.
Yeah, it'll be the 2025 model. It's a full change.
Okay.
And then in 2026 model year, 2025 summer, that's when we see the new Outback. And
Oh wow.
I'll tell you, the new Outback's a game changer. It's awesome.
Oh, they had one there
I
for you.
saw pictures
Yeah.
and renderings.
Right.
Yeah,
No.
pictures and rendering, but we saw a pretty detailed rendering and pictures of it, and it's awesome. Like the future Subaru is pretty cool. My guess is you're going to see some hybrid drivetrains and a lot of that stuff. Subaru's already announced through Japan that they're hoping to have a couple more electric models in the U.S. the next couple of years.
That'd be fun.
So we're hoping to get that coming. But
And in the coming days, Subaru has teased that the Wilderness family is adding
we
there
have
too.
a new Wilderness team member coming in 4 days now. Right?
It's-
5 days.
It's like next week.
Yeah, check all of our social media. You'll Mark Miller Subaru social media. You'll be able to see that and Subaru social media. But the new Crosstrek, I've seen it. New Crosstrek Wilderness is awesome.
Breaking news! It's a Crosstrek
I
Wilderness.
think it was pretty obvious.
If we didn't say that last week.
I know that's right.
Oh, okay. But it's going to be cool, and we'll actually that car we'll see this fall.
That will be fun.
The Crosstrek Wilderness we'll see this fall. We're going to see a new Crosstrek in Impreza this summer and the Wilderness this fall.
And the new Sports and Limiteds are hitting the ground in the middle of the summer.
The new RS Impreza, which is going to be a really cool car.
Yep.
The RS is back.
The 24 Crosstrek Premium is hitting the ground next week and the week after. And so it's exciting. Jeff, I've been here since October of 2021. And this coming month, April, is going to be the first time that multiple unspoken, unordered cars will show up on our lot since I've worked here.
Here's a neat part. The next 3 years in Subaru, you're going to see 5 to 6 new models.
Wow, that's crazy.
I mean, the changeover in Subaru in the next 2-3 years is going to be insane.
You mean new
like
models?
Either a new like brand new full body change of a model.
Yeah.
You have a Crosstrek Impreza, Forester next year, Outback the year after that. New
At some point, Ascent.
New EV models coming in, a full refresh on the Ascent. I mean, you're going to see a lot.
So
here's the interesting. Did you see the trademark news that came out this week?
No.
STE. So the Subaru trademarked STE.
Really?
So not STI, STE. So maybe a little hint for what might be coming in the future.
So the Reddit forums may have been correct.
There might be something coming in the world of I have no knowledge on that whatsoever. I'm going to say that right now. There's nothing coming out of this.
This
guy.
is a rumor on socials.
Yeah, this is a social rumor. But though the trademark is not a rumor, that happened. So there's some cool stuff coming.
And the E stands for excellent.
Exceptional. As our surveys say, extraordinary.
Extraordinary.
the standards we get held to. All right.
So there you go. That's some Subaru news.
Things are bright in the Subaru world, and we just got to keep it that way and make sure we can start building some cars because the demand's still there. We just got to get cars built.
Today is the final day of Subaru. Mark Miller Subaru Loves Diversity Month.
Mm-hmm.
Our diversity partner this year is Girls on the Run, which I just drove past their headquarters up on Foothill.
Yeah, right on Foothill, right by the car wash.
They are a cool organization.
Cool.
They've had a little display out here in our showroom floor where they had these Hershey bars where she was highlighted, she is, and you paid $5 for a Hershey bar. I'm sad to say I bought probably 8 Hershey bars in the last month.
They're amazing. They do some great mentoring stuff. And I mean, my daughter actually was involved in 3 years ago or something. She was in like 2nd grade, I think.
That's great.
She did it after school, a little after school program.
So as March goes out, Diversity Month ends, although diversity is a daily thing
a
here.
12-month, 24/7 thing here.
Yes, absolutely.
We do not end our diversity on the end of diversity.
No, we do not. And we adjust.
No more diversity in the place.
Similarly, we don't only care about the Earth in April either. No. But April is Subaru Loves the Earth month. We got some fun stuff coming up in the month, including some cleanup on Earth Day and the Return the Love event.
Yep, end of the month, April 29th.
So you remember we had the Share the Love last winter. It's still technically spring, but it's winter if you looked at my yard. But end of 2022, we did the Share the Love. Now it's Return the Love. So if you bought a car during Share the Love, a new car, then you would have received an email with an invitation to the Return the Love event.
And in order to win your Return the Love, you have to be present at the event with your vehicle.
Which we're giving away 3 years of payments.
Yes.
So
it's a lot of money.
If you have the ability to come, you need to be there.
Yep. And if you did buy a car from us, you'll see it in your email for sure.
All right. That's it for Wheels. Coming up next, Reels with a new mystery and a new remake that I don't know about.
Okay.
Tell you about it next.
My name's Jamie Usry, and my Subaru is Freedom. I've had so many animals over the years. One of the things that I love about Mark Miller Subaru is they're the largest animal welfare supporter in the Salt Lake Valley. You may not even realize it, but they're probably supporting a nonprofit that you love in the community. And my wife and I, our daughter Harper, and our dogs, we're just so happy that we picked Mark Miller Subaru. Subaru is a brand that I trust, and Mark Miller Subaru is the local retailer that I love.
Jeff, time for everyone's favorite pastime, movies, TV.
Movies.
Vegging on the couch. Netflix today released the Murder Mystery 2.
What do you think? Do you like the Netflix Direct versus having to go to a theater? You're a theater guy. Do you like the way that you're releasing directly on Netflix now?
So I like it for only one reason.
You can see them earlier?
The age of my children, it's tough for me to get to the theater.
I get so busy. I have a hard time getting to theaters.
So that is, but I do miss the theater. I don't want the theater to go. I want it to be around
I'm
forever.
on airplanes a lot too, so it's nice for me to be able to download a movie and like have it like a brand new movie to go on an airplane.
But the first Adam Sandler, Jennifer Aniston murder mystery was great.
It was awesome. I love that movie.
It might be Adam Sandler's best non. It's a Happy
Adam
Gilmore
Sandler type movie,
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But the reviews on
Because
Murder,
we all know that's Billy Madison.
Happy Madison is his company, right? Yeah.
I love Billy Madison.
I like Happy Gilmore.
I like Happy Gilmore too.
I like Big Daddy.
Big Daddy's good too.
This is in line with like Wedding Singer and 50 First Dates.
Yeah.
It's still funny, but it's but Murder Mystery 2, the reviews
But he's
are
actually
not.
having to act in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reviews are not good so far. on Murder Mystery
53%
2.
on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Disappointing. But I will watch it because the first one was good.
I'll definitely watch it. That looks really good.
Now, next week, near and dear to my heart franchise gets a reboot in the movie theater, the Super Mario Bros. Movie, which they're calling it that again. You remember the Bob Hoskins, John Leguizamo disaster in the early 90s, late 80s. That was terrible. This, though, is a cartoon version. It stars Chris Pratt as Mario, Charlie Day is Luigi.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Jack Black as Bowser. Yeah. Anya Joy-Taylor as Princess
Keegan-Michael
Peach.
Kay as Toad.
Yep. So I'm
Seth Rogen's Donkey Kong.
Yes, Seth Rogen. Oh,
This
and
is a
Seth
great
Rogen
cast.
as Donkey Kong is
Fred
perfect.
Armisen as Cranky Kong.
Yes.
That's
So
a nice cast.
It should be a lot of fun. And now Universal has their whole Mario Land that's open in LA.
Yeah.
This is fun for me, a child of the 80s and 90s, to see Mario making such a strong comeback.
Speaking of that, so last night, I think it was Miles. They hooked up their Switch to like the big screen, in,
Yeah.
like, the living room, and so I found out my wife is exceptionally good at Dr. Mario.
Oh, really?
Like,
That's a random game to be really good at.
Scary good. Like playing
entering competitions.
like playing level 17 good. Like she's playing level 17, I'm playing level 9 and getting waxed.
We ought to get her in a competition.
Oh, she's good.
That'd be
Like,
a side
gave her a
gig.
couple weeks of training. Like, oh my gosh, she'd win all of them. I don't know if there's still Dr. Mario competitions out there in the world, but if there are, we're gonna find one for her. So that's my doctor.
Let's get Deanna in here.
You gotta watch
Let
it.
her play right here and show the people.
She'll play against me and embarrass me.
All right.
It was fun though.
Episode 44 in the books. We will skip next week, and then we'll be back hopefully.
And you're sticking to 2 and 4. Well, you went to 1 and 5, didn't you?
I went to 1 and 5
1 and
just
5.
to be spicy. Yeah.
And I think 2 and 4, not surprised 4 and 2.
Yeah.
I don't think they went 5 or 6. That's a stretch.
Do we want to do a bet on the Final Four? Real quick here on the spot.
No, because no one even knows who any of these teams are.
I'll take Florida Atlantic to win it all.
I think San Diego State's going to win it.
Oh, I hope not. Oh, that'd be terrible. That'd be UConn.
As their
UConn's gonna win it.
stepping stone into the Pac-12.
the Pac-12 will claim it.
Oh
my gosh.
Pac-12, bring them in and claim them as champions. The most Pac-12 thing ever to do.
That's right.
All right.
He's Jeff. I'm Austin for Ashley. We'll see you next week. Utah by 5.
Trust me.